What's up, everyone? This is Jesse from Plant the Spear podcast. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I know I am, and that's because we just got an offensive line commitment, which is something you'll probably never hear a Florida State fan say they're mad at. This commitment comes from UNC Charlotte offensive lineman Dimitri Emmanuel. He is a super senior transfer. He's been around for a while, obviously. He does bring a lot of experience to the table. You probably remember we mentioned him on social media a while back, saying there was interest due to his relationship with Alex Atkins during his time when he was at UNC Charlotte. So he's been around a while. He's been at the school for a while. He did redshirt in 2017, and then he did play in 2018, 19, 20, and 21. He is a versatile offensive lineman. Like I said, he has experience at left guard and both tackle spots. Most of the highlights that I saw, he was at the left guard position. He is also someone who has experience. He has 24 consecutive starts from 2019 to 2021 per Charlotte's website. And he was named to Phil Steele's third team All-Conference USA team 2 years in a row. So, I mean, again, it's Conference USA, and it's a group of five, and it was third team. So it's not, it's not like a Remington Trophy or anything like that or an Outland, but hey, I mean, it's at least he's garnering rewards in his own conference, so that's a good sign. He's listed at 6'3", 305, and to me, he projects more as a guard here at Florida State. He does have experience at tackle, which is nice, but I think just his type, his body size, and his build, he's kind of more of a natural fit at guard. I think the good thing about Emmanuel is, at a minimum, you're going to get some quality depth, which was one of the main concerns that we talked about going into the season, really at a lot of positions, but namely offensive line. And that was something that we saw plague them last year. Anytime you had an injury or a guy go down or a guy try and play hurt because they didn't have the depth, I mean, the play on the field just struggled terribly. And it's not something that you can have a successful season, kind of having a patchwork offensive line or relying on guys who just aren't ready. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Emmanuel could come in and be a day one starter. From some of the film I watched, he's a pretty good player. He's solid, he's strong, he looks like he's got a good push. A few of the things I really noticed, he does get up to the second level well, he does get off the ball. He is pretty good at pass blocking, passing guys off, which is something I like to see. The only thing, I guess, my only knock really is I'd like to see him finish some blocks a little better. And then he does kind of miss a few guys during the passing off on the offensive line. But, I mean, he's an experienced guy. It's just I think the biggest thing you're wondering right now is will it translate over to the Power 5 level. But I think that Atkins already knows the clay he's got to mold, and I think that he wouldn't have brought him in if he didn't think that he could help this team. I think that, even if he doesn't start, and you also have the quality depth aspect of it, but he does give you options if he does start, because you could do something where, say you want to bump Darius Washington out to a tackle position opposite of Robert Scott, and then you now have an option at guard who's a solid player across from Dylan Gibbons. And if Caden Lyles can take the center spot, I think your starting five looks pretty good. You also have a backup in Maurice Smith behind the center job, which he could still very well win. He's just a little undersized right now, so he's just got to bulk up a little bit, but I think he'll be a good player in the future. You would have a solid backup at center. You would have a solid backup at guard if he doesn't start. And then, depending on the development of Bless Harris, which is something we're still kind of waiting to see, some people have said that they expect him to start. And so if he starts now, you could potentially, you'd have a 6 or 7 man rotation that I think you feel pretty good about. Now, you might get a little hairy after that, but I also do think that you could have, if Bless Harris does not start and you do end up bumping Darius Washington to the outside, then I think you're in a situation where you have a backup center that you're confident in, a backup guard that you're confident in, and a backup tackle that you're confident in. So I think that, or at least a backup tackle that would allow you to move guys around to have a backup guard. So I think it's a good pickup for Florida State. Again, we don't know what it's going to translate to in the Power 5 level. I don't know that he's going to start, but I think he very well has the potential to. He was a very solid player from the film that I watched. Now, granted, it's not easy to find a whole lot of highlight film on a Charlotte offensive lineman, so it was a small sample size. But in what I did see, I think he did very well. And both of the games that I went back and watched were against Duke and Illinois. Now, granted, I get it. Those are kind of the bottom feeder Power 5 teams, but they're also Power 5 teams. So they at least have kind of that level of athlete that they're going against. So that was something that I wanted to watch, not so much the Conference USA games or anything like that. But again, I think it's a solid pickup for Florida State, potential starter, at least a solid depth piece. I think that they just needed to get something in place on this offensive line that could fit for them, could work for them. Obviously, it's not a day one power five plug and play offensive tackle like we'd all like, but you're probably not going to get that. I think there was the one anomaly there. Some things happened. You got to move on with it, and I think this is a good take for Florida State. I think that it does help you over the course of a season in case something does happen. With that being said, we'll go ahead and transition into some highlights that I clipped up for you guys. So see what you think. Let us know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Go Noles.